All right, welcome everybody. This is going to be a quick Propresenter tutorial for how DC3 sets up their lower thirds for both the LED wall and also for the projector iMac. So basically what you're going to want to do, this is the quick overview. I'll link some links to Propresenter Renewed Visions walkthroughs of what you're looking at here for Propresenter if you're not familiar with it. I'll put those links in the descriptions below. Basically what we're going to want to do is we're going to start with our theme. So basically when you go to your themes, you'll typically see a message lower third and also a full size third. It's what it looks like. So when you select the message lower thirds, you'll see there's a list of a bunch of thirds that you'll see. All different kind of themes and stuff like that. So for this example, we'll be using the real men because that's the current slide we're in. So basically what you would do is I have two templates here of our scripture and our regular lower third layout. And so what you would basically do is you would find a imported in our Propresenter folder. You'll see a red folder if you look in our Dropbox in the side tab. Open up the Propresenter, and you'll typically see, like for Mother's Day, there will be some graphics, but you'll typically see something that shows this type of graphic here. It's a JPEG or a PNG. And so basically what you would do is you would click and drag these into this guy here. And you have to make sure that this layer is not over this here. These are your layers. You have to make sure that this is dragged underneath. And so that is how you get those to make sure that you'll see the thirds. So also you have this here, which makes sure that is a different theme, and then you just make sure the box fits. That's pretty simple. And there's a manual in the Propresenter station. Please refer to that if you have any other questions for like how to do that. All this will be in that manual as well for you. So since we have those themes done, what we need to do, we also have the theme for the full slide, or excuse me, the message upper third. There it is. So we have a message upper third here. Oh, I don't know where that went. So anyway, I'll show you here. Same thing. Two different ones, but you're importing the same background and you're just throwing it over the two. So it doesn't really matter as long as the background's the last thing. If you see you put this over at the top here in your layers, it will cover up all the text. So you got to make sure it sits down here. All right, so after that's done, what we do next is we go over to File. We go to Import. Go to Import File. And then we're going to go to our downloads. And typically, if you go by date added, you'll see the most recent, the Real Men Idols. We do import. And then we make sure it's paragraph break, 2 delimiters per slide. We select the theme as we start with the message upper thirds. And then I'll use the Real Men scripture to start. Make sure that's in the messages library and no playlist is selected. And then we do import. And then we're just going to do a right over. And that's okay if you do that. It doesn't really matter in the case of this. You won't have to do that in the case of this. This is just for the example. So you'll see that this gets imported. And now what we want to do is go to a beautiful thing called your reflow editor. This will show you everything, all your slides and stuff like that will come right here. And then you'll see everything in terms of this, and this is like what all your slides are. This matches up. So slide 17 is slide 17 and all that fun stuff. So basically what you'll want to do next is you'll want to make sure that all your slides and stuff are together for your scriptures. And then on a Mac keyboard, what you want to do is you can also create new slides doing this. It makes it very handy. In order to do that, you want to do Option on a Mac keyboard. It's Option Return. That splits it. On a Windows keyboard, it will be Windows Return, I believe. It should be the Windows key and then Return. Or no, excuse me. It's the Alt key and then Return. So same thing. We're just going to split that up. Split these up. If it's a scripture, make sure you're on the back side of this, wherever you want to split the slide. Option, that'll split your slide there. Same thing. We're just going to keep going through, splitting up our slides, and make sure our scriptures stay together. And there's a reason for that. Keep going, keep going. And just make sure those are all split up. Try to make sure there's no gaps and stuff to make sure it's nice and neat. Power becomes an idle. Do all that. Okay, perfect. So now what we want to do next, we want to go over to our slides, our verses. We want to come over here. We want to Windows. It's Windows key. We're going to cut this. So on Mac, it's Command X. On a Windows keyboard, it's Windows X. Cut it. Make sure there's no space. Come over here and then do paste and match style. Right click. So Mac on a Mac, it's right click on both a Mac mouse and a Windows mouse. On a trackpad, it's 2 fingers on a Mac. Paste and match style, and then that's done there. Same thing here. We go across for all the verses and do that. Command X. Make sure there's not a space. And then we paste and match style. And then we'll just keep going through doing that. And then make sure all those slides are good. And then, for the case of the example, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to do a couple. And then what we'll need to do after that is we need to click and drag our macro, which is our message one here. You'll see in the side. Make sure you come to this tab. It'll be in the macros tab, which is going to be this guy right here. Then what we'll do is, after we're done there, if you've done all that, we can go to the reflow editor again. Click and drag the message. Bam, right there. Go to the reflow. Now what we want to do is we want to open up our, you have a second window typically. So we want to open up our downloads. Open up our Realmen idles thirds. And then you can drag this onto the second screen if you want in order to have it on the side. I unfortunately do not, but we will be looking at this. And as you can see in our notes, there's some underlines. So we have identity, attacks, and stuff like that. So we want to go into our slides. And we want to look at all of our points here. And we want to underline everything. So Mac, it's going to be Command U. On a Windows keyboard, if you're using a Mac, will be Windows U. And that will underline those. So we'll just go and underline whatever we need to, whatever is underlined inside of our notes. Just make sure those are all underlined, and then go in and check your work and all that fun stuff, and you'll be good. All right, and so one of the last things after you've done all that is you need to go back to show, and then we have to retheme our scriptures and our points, and as well as add a look to them, which is how you swap between the LED wall, how it looks on the LED wall, and also the top screen. So what we want to do is we want to select our verses first. So you can actually see on the iMac when I select it, it comes up like this, and that's not how it's supposed to be. So we select our individual scriptures, hold Command, bam, bam, go on down. For the sake of example, I won't do all this. But you'll just see these, and then what you'll do is you'll right-click, go to Theme, and then we'll do, we have to add the look. These are already themed, but what you would do is you'll come over here and select the scripture if it wasn't themed. We'll go over, so then what we do is we right-click, go to Add Action, hover over it, Audience Look, and then we do it will be scripture, which is here on the bottom. And then when you select it, you can see here on the iMac, it changes the look for it. And then we do the same thing. We actually need to retheme our points. So basically you hold Command and select all your points as you go across. Right click, do a theme, come to message over thirds, and select the Realmen points. And that'll change the way this looks. And then we also, with all those selected, you want to right click again, Add Action, Audience Look, and then do the points. And then when you do the point, that will change the way it looks on the top screen and also on the LED wall. And you can see that right there. And so when you do that, what you need to do next is you need to go back into your plan to this weekend's. Go to Real Men. For the sake of this, I'm going to unlink. So if you ever need to unlink something, you select the messages guy right here. Press unlink. And then you'll see this guy. So next what we'll want to do is we will want to come over to the little search guy here, which will also, this is all in your manual as well if you need it. So now what we do is we go to the magnifying glass. We'll type in crushing idols, Roman idols thirds. We'll link it. Or you can actually do it look like this. That's just the text. But you can link it like this. And then this is our new format. And so then you've linked the real men into the thirds. All right. If you have any questions, that's the basics of setting up for the LED wall. Any questions? Feel free to reach out, and feel free to make sure you look at the manual. There's a bunch of resources on Renew Vision's website. Like I said, that will be linked below. All right. Thank you guys, and we'll talk to you later.